After one of the worst weeks of my professional career, I decided I owed myself to take a break away from work and drama, 7 hours from home, deep in the foggy countryside of California. I was headed to the Global Time Attack finals at Buttonwillow. And while I knew nothing about the sport or culture, I left knowing that I would one day compete.
Wow. This is so cool. Well, thank you so much.
But if you're like me, you're probably wondering, what the heck is time attack? I think it's easier to explain what time attack is not. You won't see cars doing circles for hours. You won't see head-to-head battles or any overtaking at all. You won't see giant corporate sponsors selling products through models, or even as much of a crowd, to be honest.
Wait till you see the. No.
But what you will see is a community. Look beyond the spoilers and splitters and you will see families. You will see barbecues and smiles and hear genuine conversation, even from the big hitters. Global Time Attack brings together some of the most unique builds in the industry. It attracts people who are obsessed with precision. Even in the most homegrown jobs, there is a little OCD lurking. You will see cars that appear to be completely stock, as well as cars that look like they're addicted to plastic surgery and didn't know where to stop. But most importantly, you will see some insane lap times. Global Time Attack is broken down into 4 categories: enthusiast, street, limited, unlimited. This is where it gets complicated. The enthusiast class utilizes street class rules with greater regulation to ensure that the cars and drivers are truly entry-level competitors. Within this group are 3 distinct divisions: all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive, which is shared among the classes. This is aimed at giving people like you and me the opportunity to compete and have fun. The street class is usually the most competitive, as everyone does everything they can to stretch the rules. The basics are that the OEM chassis and structure must be intact and not modified. This class introduces more suspension adjustability, slightly more body modification than street class, and engine swaps that retain the true spirit of the car. The limited class is where you start to see crazy aero packages and Lexan side windows. This class permits the use of sequential transmissions and active suspension, as well as flat bottom modification, but is still not the craziest. The unlimited class houses some of the most extreme things I have seen in the auto industry, with the shortest list of restrictions and possibilities are endless.
It's an 83 Volkswagen Rabbit shell, and then it's put on top of Miata subframes to make it rear drive. And it's a Honda engine. It's got a Ford 8.8 for the diff, and then it's got a 4-speed dog box, like similar to what they use for NASCAR.
One thing is for sure, I could not just look at these cars and tell where they belonged in respect to class, but nearly all of the drivers were willing to give me the rundown, even the team that builds this absolute unit.
We're running a Honda K20 Z1, I believe, out of an RSX. It's a fairly simple engine. Dave from RS Machine put it together for us. It's basically a rods pistons engine with some cams and VTEC killer in it. We're kind of starting a new engine program and testing it, trying to see what we can learn from this, and then hopefully continue to develop something really solid. It is turbocharged. We use a Garrett G3770 turbo. Overall, the car's been very good to us, yet also challenging. We've basically rebuilt the entire car. The only thing really left on it that's untouched is the tub, and then almost everything else has been removed, reinstalled, modified, and basically everything that we could do rules-wise that's legal to make it as good of a street class time attack car as we could, we've done. So the suspension is one of the highlights on this car. We run KW competition dampers, which is like basically they're motorsport dampers that you would find in like a TCR, a GT3 car, same technology. So the dampers on this car are really good, and KW, they've killed it. That's all we've ever run on this car, and we've been very, very happy with it. And then other than that, it's essentially stock. We run a front sway bar, no rear sway bar, a couple arms in the rear that get rid of a little bit of play, and the same thing in the front. We have a little compliance clamp, but the geometry on this car is so good we don't have to change much. So it's essentially coilovers in the sway bar. So it's a very, it's built to the limit of the rules, which is why it looks a little bit extreme for a street class car, but we're definitely trying to push and get the most out of it. My name is Amir Bentatu, and I'm with RS Future. It's a shop that I have. We do all of the aerodynamic components on quite a few cars out here, including this one. We also do a lot of race preparation and full builds. What got me into this? It's, I guess, my dad. You know, I've been into motorsport for a long time and cars. He was a big BMW guy, which is how I started. And then eventually worked my way into Hondas, started with like Civics and stuff, and then got this and fell in love. And then time attack wise, I've always loved time attack since like the best motoring and hot version videos. So big fan for a long time.
That's about all for my experience at Time Attack. And please enjoy the B-rolls of the cars that I filmed at the track. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mata ne!